Hello, everybody. Chris Wood here. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. Anybody that might. I am a 3.5 year revenge, retaliation, identity theft, identity change, revenge, torture, skull split, brain injury, body mutilation, attempted murder victim from Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police for speaking of their crimes. As a result, I have been medically blacklisted, kidnapped, sex assaulted, false arrested, medical discrimination and treatment refusals, skull split, deforming, serious brain injuring, and it is being done to me through Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police. They're guilty of human trafficking, human sex trade, slavery trafficking, children to pedophiles, adults to sex offenders. They're guilty of identity thefts, financial thefts and frauds with their gang, Billy Wooldridge, Blair Hardy, Tyler Lake, Jason Two-Step Gimpy Benalstein, Ray, a guy that lives behind Mamma Mia's here in Napanee, has a deaf white pit bull. He is a child groomer and a drug trafficking child molester. They're all pedophiles, including the cops named Spencer Mills 14716. He is a human trafficking, drug trafficker, child molesting, pedophile, murdering piece of shit. Ex-chief or commander, year 2019, pedophile, sex slavery trafficking, and guilty of murders and attempted murders. Staff sergeants, guilty of kidnapping and sodomy sex assault with boss Billy Wooldridge. Shannon Cork, gang stalker, face laugher over me telling her to arrest her boss, knowing that he was going to go on to stalk and murder my mother, guilty of homicide. Robert can fuck, can kill, can get away with it, money badge, family town council. 100% right, and the piece of shit lives no more than 50 feet from my back door. Robert Kane, drug cop, human trafficker, and he is the one supplying the drugs to Billy Wooldridge, Blair Hardy, Tyler Lake, Jason Van Alstyne. Blair Hardy and Spencer Mills are boyfriends. Billy Wooldridge is Hells Angels Ontario chapter captain. Billy Wooldridge or Blair Hardy is Banditos. They're gang stalkers. They're using remote neural monitoring on victims, which is police and military tech, nano microchip implants, which basically enables for invasive surveillance. And I have it being used on me 24/7 by Billy Wooldridge, by Blair Hardy, by Tyler Lake, by Jason Van Alstyne, compliments of Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police, and OPP in general. They are using this remote neural monitoring. They're giving it to their junkie co-offenders, their little gang they have here in town, and they are passing it around and using it on me in hopes to mentally fuck me up. They are broadcasting through my head. They're broadcasting and then done serious damage to my lungs, to my kidneys. I went to the hospital and was refused treatment, kicked out by the CEO, Wayne Covey Duck himself, causing me serious harm, my lungs and my kidney damage. I have not been able to, I only have one lung now, and my right kidney is completely screwed. I have my food when I eat goes to the right side of my body now from being split. My skull split. I was split right down the fucking middle from these bastards. Back in 2019 at my previous address, I was shot by the ex-OPP chief or commander. After that, that's when my problem started. The lies, the time buying, the cover ups, arrest refusals, treatment refusals from the hospital. And after I went and got my CAT scans and from Dr. Tatiana B, aka Margie B, who happens to be Stacy's girlfriend. She is a file falsifier, a medical blacklister. She is the one that assures the crimes for OPP, for Billy Waldridge, for Blair Hardy, for Tyler Lake, and Jason Van Alstyne through getting their victims medically blacklisted to assure that. There is Dr. Joy Hadley, Dr. Barton, Dr. Pritchard, Dr. McGregor, Dr. Waldron, triage nurses Terry, Tanya, and David, all at Livingston Addington County General Hospital, who are co-committing human traffickers with criminal negligent intent and guilty of aiding in homicides and cover-ups with and for OPP, Billy Waldridge, Blair Hardy, Ray, Tyler Lake, Jason Van Alstyne, and Dale Hartwick. There is also Michelle Irish, who is a local hooker here for the police. Her pimps are Robert Kane and Spencer Mills. There is Robert Berry, who is the pimp to Ali Cooper. And there is Robert Kane and Spencer Mills, whether still here or not, allegedly in Aurelia, is the pimp to Holly Carlisle. These bastards are also using remote neural monitoring on my dog and as a result gave him cancer from the EMFs and the radiation, the same as what Billy Waldridge and Blair Hardy were using on my mother, causing her cancer from the EMFs and the radiations in it that it gives off. It caused tumors and it killed my mother December 20th, 2020. Billy Waldridge and Blair Hardy were stalking my mother. Billy Waldridge was calling my mother mom. He believes that we were switched at birth. I am 50 and he is in his 70s. He thinks that he is also my dad as well, but he also believes he is Harry Potter. So it just goes to show you the delusions this piece of shit has. No matter what I have done, no matter what I have proven with the crimes against me, my identity theft, my deforming, and everything else, there's been nothing I can do about this because it is police revenge to me. This is how they traffic their victims. This is how they kill their victims. And this is how they are framing their victims. Lies, time buying, cover ups, arrest refusals, except for on your victims to deflect the crimes that you are guilty of. Using your badges, positions, credentials as a means to deflect crimes. Falsely arresting, kidnapping to steal blood and piss. Your lies against your victims that you never have to prove. Sodomy, sex assaults, you're guilty of financial thefts and frauds, even welfare and disability pension thefts and frauds. OPP are involved in with Billy Waldridge, Blair Hardy, Tyler Lake, Ray, Jason Van Alstyne. They're all co-drug traffickers as well with and for OPP, the police. Right up to Wayne Cubby Duck, the CEO for Lennox and Addington County General Hospital. You are guilty of aiding in this crime on me and against me, and you're also guilty of attempted murder in the first degree, premeditated with criminal negligent intent, along with Tatiana, along with your triage nurses, along with Paladin Security, Barton, Pritchard, McGregor, Waldron, Hadley, and Tatiana. You think because you're doctors and you've been committing so many crimes and getting away with homicides and cover ups here in Napanee for so long with and for OPP, you actually believe that you are above the law and you believe that you are untouchable because you work for the cops here. Not only are you guilty of aiding inmates and fucking pieces of shit sex offenders and murdering my mother, but you're also guilty in deforming and injuring me for this physical identity theft, for this framing and trafficking, which I am going through compliments of OPP. This is why they are buying time, sitting on their asses, and refusing to arrest anybody, along with a justice of the peace who is seriously corrupt, a possible cocaine addict. She looked like she was high on coke and she smelled of whiskey at 10 o'clock in the morning the day that I tried to go get arrest done on Billy Waldridge, Blair Hardy, Tyler Lake, and OPP cops in charging for the crimes that they are guilty of. And her response to me was, I was high on marijuana and hallucinating, being fucked, being sodomized by the cops. This is the kind of piece of shit that she is. And she needs to be investigated and fired, possibly. There's serious corruption. They're guilty of organized. They're guilty of organized. They're organized criminals. They're guilty of domestic terrorism by using this remote neural monitoring on their victims to mentally fuck it up and then selling it using your little meth fed, drug fed, money paid co offenders who you will not touch and arrest. So I have proven Napanee is the easiest place if you want to commit human trafficking, if you want to commit homicides, if you want to commit pedophilia, identity thefts, financial thefts and frauds, or any other crime. You just align yourself to Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police, Spencer Mills 14716. You follow him because dead bodies follow that guy. He's a serial killing piece of shit. Ex-chief or commander, staff sergeants, Shannon Cork, Robert Kane, Robert Lucas, and Stacy and Shelley Hafner. Go behind Mamma Mia's restaurant here in Napanee on East Street, and you will see what a pedophile, drug trafficking, human trafficking, animal and human killer looks like. Ray, where Blair Hardy and possibly Jason Gimpy, Two-Step Benalstein, and Tyler Lake are hiding out. And the reason they are hiding out there is because that they know that the OPP would need search warrants to get them. So therefore, I believe that they are most likely being harbored at Ray's while they are using this R&M on me and still doing it. And one way or another, Jason Van Alstyne, Blair Hardy, Two-Step, Ray, and the rest of you bastards, you're gonna pay for what you've done to me and what you're doing to me and what you've done to my fucking dog. You're guilty of murders. Ray is a fucking stalking piece of shit. Every time I walk out my door, he is always right there knowing exactly where I am, just like Billy Wooldridge was in the beginning. And now, fuckhead Ray, the child grooming pedophile that lives on East Street behind Mamma Mia's, he has a deaf white pit bull. I bet you that dog is seriously abused. I bet you that dog has worms out of its fucking like nobody's business. They are abusing their animals. They are guilty of human and animal murders. They're human traffickers with and for OPP. Doing this to mentally fuck me up, to mind control me, or whatever the case is, through this bullshit in hopes to take me off my consciousness so I forget about these crimes like everything is okay. I'm supposed to put up with being deformed and having fucking being mutilated and not being able to do a thing about it because it's for the police through a bunch of fucking low-life, junkie, meth-fed, fucking drug-fed co-offenders. You're pieces of shit.